Hey, welcome back. On today's episode of You Can Fix That, hopefully I will be fixing my hot tub. Um, the weather is getting cooler in the nights now. It's late August. We're getting down in the 50s at night, so um, I decided it was time to fill up the hot tub and get it ready for the season and get it all filled up, turned on, and primed. And I have two jets on this, two different pumps that works two different jets on this. First one works fine, but the other one doesn't come on. You can hear it clicking. I can hear that it's getting power to it, but it's not. That pump is not turning. So my hope is that it's just some wasp or something got in there, and that pump is just kind of locked up. But I'll have to get in there and see. About 2 years ago, I replaced one pump on here already. There's three pumps. There's two jet pumps and then a circulation pump. I replaced that circulation pump, I think. After I get in here, we'll see which one is the one that's not working. And you'll see it when I get in here, but it is a pain in the butt because when they made these, it looked like they put all the plumbing and the pumps and everything in there and then just blew in some that foam stuff, and it just kind of got around, so I had to chip away at a lot of the foam to get to that pump out, and it was kind of a pain in the butt. And the other thing, unfortunately, if I have to replace that pump or even take some of that plumbing off, I already filled the thing, so I'm going to have to drain it and refill it again. But let me get you set up and I'll get that front panel off and see what's in there. Hopefully this bit will work better. And I can imagine there's going to be wasp or who knows what else might be living in here. So I'm going to get some wasp spray ready before I take that panel off, because I'm pretty sure there's going to be some in there. Okay. So, no wasp nest. I'll show you if you can see it. So the pump back there is the one I replaced. That smaller one is a circulating pump. That's the one I replaced. I gotta figure out now which one of these is the one that's not working. So let me turn this on. Okay, that's the one that's working. This one I can hear it wants to go. Yeah, that one is going, that circulation pump. So it's this one right here that is not working, which is nice because it's right here in front, and if I have to replace it, it'll be easy. But I'm gonna get a blower and get all these cobwebs and stuff and blow it out, or maybe get a vacuum so I don't blow it all over the yard. But I'm gonna vacuum some of that stuff up. I do see a mud dauber nest on the side of it, so maybe there's just that pump is just that motor for that pump is just locked up. I'm gonna vacuum some of this stuff out of here and then get a closer inspection. I don't know how well this is going to show up with the sun behind me, but there's the shaft coming out of this motor going into the impeller or pump or whatever you want to call it. It looks pretty rusty and almost like maybe a bushing that's inside of there came apart. Um, so I think that's our problem, but I don't know if it's a pump problem or a motor problem. I'm going to, I don't see a way, I wish there was a way I could try to turn this manually just to see if I can spin it. I mean, I really can't see it on the other. I'm going to go look on that other one, the one that is working, just to see what that shaft looks like. But that is definitely gummed up. Maybe try to clean it. I don't know. But yeah, that's probably our problem. I try to get you in here. This is what that shaft looks like on the one that's working. This is the shaft on the one that's not working. So that plastic bushing that goes into the pump, I think, is bad. I'll turn the power off, see if I can spin it, clean that up a little bit, and then bring you back if I make any progress. So this here is the old circulating pump. The motor was bad that I took off a couple years ago and replaced with that one. And I was hoping, because I cleaned that up a little bit, and there's just, I mean, the way that bushing is around there, there's a plastic bushing, I'm calling it a bushing, but that goes around the shaft off that motor. And even if I got it to spin, and I think it's going to wobble in there and break on me. But I was hoping that this impeller, I can use this one and just swap it and put it on that one, but that's definitely a different size. So that's not going to work. The only other option is if the diameter of that opening on this one is the same and I can use this bushing, but I'm probably just going to have to go get a whole new impeller. But I'll look those up, see what they cost, and see if I can find one local. If not, I'll get it shipped to me. And the unfortunate thing is I'm going to have to drain this, because as soon as I take off, this line coming off of that impeller, I'm going to lose all that water in the tub. So looks like I'm going to have to drain it anyway, but I'll wait till I get one here before I do that. Well, I did a little research, and I did find a pump. I can order one and have it here in a couple of days. There's a couple stores around me. I'll see if they have one in stock, but I'm going to have to drain it anyway. So now I got it draining down to the woods, and after it's drained, all right, well, we're all drained, and now we'll see how hard it is. It's going to get that pump out of here. One thing I can see is going to be a pain is getting a wrench onto that fitting way back there. This one shouldn't be too bad, but trying to get a wrench in there to get that fitting off for the intake part of it is going to be hard. So I do have the power off. I think I will first take those connections off, and then maybe have to loosen up where the pump is to where we get a wrench back there, but we'll see. All right, I think we're recording. It's hard to see with the sun on that camera. All right, let me stick this on here so I don't lose it. There we go. All right, that's out of the way. Let's see if I can get this big ass channel lock on here. The problem I'm running into, oh, wow, that wasn't that bad. Well, I say that, now I can't turn it, but it came off. It broke free anyway. I apologize for shaking you all around, but there's just nowhere to put this tripod with this camera. And I'm wondering if I can get this off and out of the way, see if I can even turn that impeller. No, I'm not going to be able to get this out of the way. And I got a little O-ring here I don't want to lose. If I end up going with the new one, I'm probably going to get a new one anyway. So now, let me take you off. Now I have to somehow get to this fitting here. And you can see there's no room. This is the pump I put in earlier. You can see up here, I had to cut off all this insulation just to get this thing in here. Thankfully with this one, it's all out in the open. There's really not much I have to do. If that's a flex, no, I don't know how flex. I was thinking about taking the whole motor off and I could pull that closer to me, but it seems like a pretty hard line. So I'm going to at least try to get this off. And if I get it loosened and off, then I'll return you back. But there's just nowhere I can put you to film and get this. There's just not much access. So I'll bring you back once I get it, if I get it. I tried to back that off, and all I'm doing is spinning the whole pipe is spinning, not just that threaded part. I got a wasp coming in over there. So I'm going to try to take this whole piece off. This whole motor, get it off the mounts, and see if that's going to help me. And I know the problem is going to be getting to the bolts that are back behind. Because I don't even see them, and I don't even know if I will be able to see them. Alright, I can feel one. Nope, that's not going to work. I'm going to need a shorter extension. Alright. Get it loosened at least. And get this back one. Got them both. That does not help me in the least. That outlet pipe, or inlet, I don't know which one's which, but there's just no slack in it. I think I might have just cracked it. I definitely did, because I got water coming out now. All right. I think you can hear it's loose and free. So we'll open up that panel over here, get this disconnected, and then bring it to the bench and see if we can get it to turn. So it looks like the power cord running for the thing is into this panel. Hopefully we don't see any critters when I open up this. So this one is this one here. I was able to unplug that one. I'm going to take a picture of this first. So when the other one goes back in, I know how that wire was ran. And it goes to that one there. I don't remember all this when I replaced that other one. But I must have had to have gone through this. All right. All right, that motor's all out. We'll go see if we can get it to spin. All right, let's bring this over to the bench. And let's see what we got. First thing I want to do, see if I can take this plate off and if there's a way to get in there and just to see if I can manually spin that motor. Because if I can spin the motor, the impeller is what the problem is. And like I was saying before, I think it's in the impeller, that plastic bushing or whatever you want to call it, around that shaft is what locked it up. So if with that other pump that I have, whatever I did with it, that one that has the bad motor, maybe I can swap some parts and get this running. So let me get that back plate off and see if I can get access to that motor to spin it. Let's see if this comes off. Not easily. Oh, there we go. And it does look like I can spin it, but I mean, it's like a... No, that's locked up. No, it was... I just broke my screwdriver, but I did get it to spin. Let me try to find something heftier. Yeah. So it is turning. Doesn't sound good. So I'm going to take all these top screws out of here to give me access to see what this impeller looks like. It's spinning, but it's pretty, there's a lot of drag to it. So let me get all these out and see if I can get access in there. But I'm guessing once I break these, I'm breaking a seal in here. I don't know, I'm learning as I go. Here goes nothing. I mean, I did research the whole pump and everything for about $300. I can get a whole new assembly pump and impeller. So, but I'd like to see if I can fix this one first. Sounds pretty crunchy in there. So let's make sure that goes like that. Let me try to turn this so you can see it. So there's that impeller, and it's spinning. It doesn't feel, I mean, I would think it should spin easier than that. I'm going to find that old pump that I took out, and I'm going to see how easy that one spins if it does spin. All right, here's the old one. You see how freely that spins. I mean, it's not like it's going to run away, but I can very easily spin that. This one, it takes some force for me to spin it. So I wonder where the Hottub is. Is it in the motor housing or is it in the impeller? I think I'm going to try and take these off and see if there's anything blocking it in this housing. Yeah, that's going to hold that whole housing on here. These are long bolts. So that's how it gets disconnected from that impeller, I guess. So that impeller housing's free, and that's made to where you can orientate this, depending on what your spa and pump is doing. Seems like it's coming off. No, it's not really budging. I'm going to work at this, see if I can get this off. And, I mean, it's spinning pretty well. This is spinning very easy. This is not spinning easy. So I think the resistance I'm getting is in the impeller, not in the motor, if that makes sense. This is spinning very easy. Not so much. So I'm going to work at this, see if I can get this off, see what it takes to get this off, and then I'll bring you back if I get it off. While trying to hammer this off, I was able to separate the rotor from the windings or the case. I don't see how I'm going to get that off, and this is definitely the issue, is that impeller. This bearing, not too bad. And there, I can still see grease coming out of it. I'm just kind of looking around, so I'll put it back together and see if it rotates better. Get it all back together. It is spinning, but it's not spinning as freely as that other one from a couple years ago. But cleaned everything out when I had it open, put a little bit more of lithium grease on that bearing, greased up a little, any spots that I see that could benefit from some from lubrication. I really don't see where it's binding up, but I think the next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and plug this in to the control panel, and then it's probably a little sketchy and shouldn't do it, but I'm going to turn it on, get this pump moving just to see if it actually moves, and if it does, I'm going to install it back in there and see if it works for me. If it does, I might get another season out of this. I don't know, but let me get this all back together and put some power to it and see if it runs. So this might not be recommended, and don't take this as a what to do video, but I'm going to put power back to this. As soon as it goes to the system setup, it can't prime, but all I'm going to do is turn that jet on, or turn that pump on to see if it spins. If it does, I'll hook everything back up, fill it back up, and no. That one does. That one does not. Oh, there it goes. So it took a little bit, and when it shuts down, I don't want to go too long because I got no water in this. All right, I am going to call that as a win for right now. I'm going to get everything hooked back up, fill it back up, and we'll see if it works. All right, we are filled up to the perfect fill level over there. I just turned the power back on. It is going through its setup process. Now it's on prime. So we'll turn the first jet pump on. And the second. It did not come on. Now I got these wasps. I sprayed a nest over here. It did not come on. I got wasps flying around me. So I can hear clicking. There we go. Hope you can hear me over the noise of the thing, but they're both working. I'm going to let this run, go through the cycles, and I'll bring you back. Alright, it's working. I don't know if I fixed it, but it wasn't working before and now it is, so I guess technically I did fix it. All I did was take it apart, clean up that shaft a little bit, and try to get it spinning a little better. Other than cleaning it up, that's all I did. Alright. Yeah, I may regret the decision not to just replace that pump while I had it out and drained, but we'll see how long this lasts. I don't know if I'm going to get the whole season out of it, but if it does, I guess I'll drain it and do it. It's a quicker install than the other pump on that other booster jet, but I just hope when it goes out, it's not 2 degrees outside. That's why I say I might regret this decision of not changing it now. It's beautiful 75 degrees out here and perfect weather to change this, but well, I guess I spoke too soon. What I thought was a fixed pump is not a fixed pump. That thing lasted a couple cycles and then it just would not turn on again. It's not seized, but it just won't. It doesn't have enough, I guess. It's dragging too much to get it to start spinning. So, ordered a new pump. This was, I think, right around 300 bucks. I got it from Amazon, so we'll open this up and then put this in and get it going. So here's the new one, exactly the same as the old one. Even came with new connections that have new O-rings and stuff on there, so I might try to use them if I can. The only thing I'm going to have to do is spin this down one, because this is that inlet pipe down there is coming in at a different angle, so I'll have to take these bolts out and then spin that around to orientate that impeller the way that it is on this one. Not sure how well this is going to come up. It's getting darker out here. Got the old pump out again, and just making a note of this, the wiring, since the wiring harness does not come with the new pump. So white, I just pulled that out. White was on the left, black was on the right, and the ground went right there. So we'll get the new one over, wired it up, and put it back in. Well, this pump is different. There's 2 connectors on the old one and 3 on the new one. So I'm guessing this is a 2-stage pump. So I have to make sure, I'll read the directions to see which one of those gets the which color goes on which post. So the only wiring diagram I see is on the outside of the pump here, and this is a low speed and a high speed. I'm going to connect to the high speed. All right, the new pump's in. It went in pretty easy. I did not reuse these that came with it. The other ones were fine. If I don't know if I would have had to you know, glue those back on, PVC glue or not, but if those don't work, I'll come back to that. But everything's in. Now I just gotta clean the rest of this scale out again. Every time I drain it, I get a little bit of the scale, so I'll clean it out again, fill it up again, and see if it works. Well, it's all back together. New pump's working fine, all wired correctly, and I have my hot tub back. Appreciate you tuning in and watching this. Thinking back on it, I wish I would have now, when I saw that pump seized up, just gone ahead and replaced it. I wasted a lot of water filling that back up and testing it out, and should have just replaced it the first time, but it was kind of a simple fix, but just waiting for parts, and you know, hopefully this helps somebody, and thanks for watching.